She aged 2 years under his control. From 11 to 13, she lived a life that wasn't hers, a life built on lies, manipulation, and fear. Every time they moved to a new city, she lost more of herself. But in early 1950, something changed. They were living in a trailer park in San Jose, California. There, a kind woman named Ruth Janish began to notice that Sally seemed off, too quiet, too nervous, too out of place. She started asking questions, and one day, Sally whispered the truth. "I'm not supposed to be here." Ruth contacted the police immediately, and in March of 1950, after nearly 2 years of horror, Sally was rescued. She was taken home to her mother. Frank LaSalle was arrested. He confessed and was sentenced to 30 to 35 years in prison. But the story doesn't end with a happy reunion. Sally tried to return to a normal life. She went back to school. She smiled for the newspapers. She tried to laugh again, but trauma doesn't vanish. It clings quietly. And then, in 1952, just 2 years after being saved, Sally died in a car accident. She was only 15. Her story, almost unbelievably, faded into history. But it didn't vanish completely, because while Sally was being held captive, a man named Vladimir Nabokov was writing a novel about a middle-aged man who kidnaps a 12-year-old girl and drives her across the country. That novel would become Lolita. For years, Nabokov denied any connection to Sally Horner's story. But later, in his personal notes, a scribbled name appeared. Frank LaSalle, Sally Horner. 1948 he knew. And Lolita, widely considered one of the greatest novels of the 20th century, became a global sensation. But people didn't remember Sally's name. They remembered the fiction. They praised the writing, the art, the complexity, forgetting the real little girl who had lived that pain. In 2018, author Sarah Weinman published The Real Lolita, finally shining a spotlight back where it belonged. Not on Nabokov, not on literary genius, but on Sally Horner, a child who was stolen, silenced, and then nearly forgotten. Sally wasn't a character. She wasn't a symbol. She was a daughter, a student, a girl who liked notebooks and wanted to be accepted. She made one mistake, and a monster used it to steal her life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new story. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, the most terrifying stories are the ones that are true.